I've got a question that came up today when I was walking the floor about patches. We see a lot of fake patches out there. Is something you might have thought about a system of scanning them on the way out so that collectors can know, okay, I bought this patch on eBay. I can look it up in Topps' database and see, yeah, this is in fact the one that came from you guys and not someone doctoring it up in their basement.
I don't know candidly that we've specifically thought about that. I can tell you on our end, everything we put in products is legitimate. We have to go through layers and layers. The leagues will only allow us to deal with certain vendors. So I feel completely confident on our end that what we're putting on product is legitimate, 100%. I think the concern and what happens is then you get crafty people who are manipulating the cards and it's interesting. I don't know what process we can put in up front to minimize that, and it sounds like you have an idea that we haven't thought about, and we're certainly open to it. I don't know the logistics and what is involved, but certainly we should talk afterwards, and if there are models that don't completely kill our business, we're interested in, obviously, the integrity of this business is important to you guys, and it's important to us as well.
Yeah. I sat down with Ryan Fetzer from covering 3 Yahoo Sports. Sat down with Brian Gregg, who bought the Strasburg Super Tractor. So what do you think a card like that means? That card. What do you think that means to the industry? What do you think that card did to the industry this year?
Well, it's gotten the industry a ton of publicity, and probably as much publicity I've seen this hobby get in like 20 years, and it's good publicity. You know, a lot of times, I started out with Topps and PR, so I know how publicity can go. And a lot of times, you know, the stories that we've seen the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of negative stories about our hobby and about, you know, stuff that's counterfeit, and we were talking about fake patches and stuff like that. And everyone always wants to talk about how the industry's going down and how there's no kids. The Strasburg thing is such a bright spot. So regardless of where the Strasburg card goes, regardless of who buys it, every time someone makes a big deal about it, it's a plus for all of us.
Just to build on that, from a marketing perspective, like I said, it got just millions of impressions. We're able to measure how much the impressions would be in terms of ad sales, and that card has generated over $5 million of basically ad sales and impressions for us, which is a huge amount of money. And to me, I think like what it's brought back is this notion that you can spend $3, $4 a pack, and you know you can hit the lottery. And while I don't like to get too involved with secondary market, and I realize what it does and how important it is, it sort of brings back like the old days where this dream and this $3 that I can make it big. And I think that's really resonated with everyone beyond just this room and just with sort of non-collectors and that magic it's sort of created, and obviously the results have been unbelievable.
Right here in the front.
Yeah. Forget the Strasburg hype for a minute, and what is your primary age group that you're targeting for a new collector?
I'll take a crack at that. We actually have 2 different audiences.
Okay.
I mean, I think we have many audiences, and that's what's interesting about this hobby. You have set collectors. I mean, within audiences, you have segments: player collectors, set collectors, team collectors, autograph collectors. So it's a really complicated business, but at its core, the way we define the market is we have adult collectors and we have kid collectors. And it's a bit challenging because obviously they're completely different. And what we're trying to do is create products and marketing plans that speak to each. So when we look at kids, we have Topps Attacks, and I don't know that any of you are big Topps Attacks collectors, but Topps Attacks is a card game for kids. So it has the elements that make card games and products for kids successful: competition, play pattern, etc. And we market it to kids, and we do demos and we do sampling. So we're looking at Attacks being our kids brand. Certainly we hope that they segue into the Topps brand, and then hopefully as they mature and grow older, then they get more into the high-end stuff. But that's the kids, and then we have an adult collector. And the adult collector is more obviously hobby-driven. Even within the adult collector, there's light users, there's heavy users, there's retail people, there's hobby people. But at the end of the day, it's an adult collector. And I think the million card giveaway really was intended to be our adult collector tactic, and the hope on that would be that it would both help current collectors buy more cards in terms of frequency, but also the notion of vintage cards with anyone in their 20s, 30s, and 40s sort of reconnects them with the business. And I think what we've successfully seen is a lot of lapsed collectors, collectors who did collect when they were 20 and 30 and left, or 15, coming back now because it's sort of the notion of reconnecting with those old cards and reconnecting with sort of their childhood, which everyone at some point wants to do, has brought them back into collecting. So that's really helped us with lapsed collectors and our current adult collectors. I don't know if I answered your question.